Singaponga leo le YouTube whiu ko poe aku mea le maua ko. You know, it's Tim Tufuga here, and happy Father's Day to my belated grandfather, Tauvae Tuiletufuga, the father of my mother. This is my mum and I during my University of Queensland graduation. That was taken at the campus at the University of Queensland. Yeah, my grandpa died in 2006. Now, I was trying to explain the difference between the Maota O Pouesi, which is all the Apia mob of my family, from the Maota O Pouesi, which is the current Malietoa from Malie and the Malietoa clan that are now the descendants of Malietoa Moli. That is Le Maota O Pouesi. The current Malietoa, who are the head of states of Samoa at the moment, from Le Maota O Pouesi. Now, the Apia mob of the Tuiletufugas are from the Maota O Pouesi. Now that's the direct descendants of Malietoa Talavau that went through the Tuiletufuga family line. That's my family. And those are the Apia boys. When rugby was first introduced in Samoa, they actually initiated it there in Apia. And my great-grandfathers and my grandfathers, who were police officers during the New Zealand administration, were amongst the first rugby teams and rugby clubs in Samoa. So my grandfather, Tauvae Tuiletufuga, was a referee back in the 60s and the 70s, and my mother's his firstborn, and he married another woman, but my grandmother came here to Brisbane, Australia, together with my mum. My mum brought them all here to Brisbane. My mother migrated to Brisbane in 1981 from Wellington, New Zealand, from Porirua. She came along with the Samoan Assembly of God Church with Pastor Vanu Toma and his wife, Va Toma. Va is also from Apia as well, or well, more specifically from Vaiala. But my family are from Apia village, in which the capital of Samoa is named after. Now all my people are there, and they're still there in Apia. Most of us are here now. Now the village of Apia village is right behind the police station and the fire station, and that's the village in which right there in Vaisiangano River, behind Aggie Gray's Hotel. All the Tuiletufugas work for Aggie Gray's, which is now called the what is it called now? I can't remember, Sheraton or something. But anyway, those are my people from my father's side. And that photo that I showed before is Tauvae Tuiletufuga when he was a referee in rugby, and he's the son of Leafionga Tuiletufuga Liu Mavaenga, whom was the chief warden of the prisons in Samoa under the New Zealand Police Service, when the Samoan Police Services were part created by the New Zealand Police. And during the Maori movement, my great grandfather was the head of the Samoan contingent of the New Zealand Police Service that dealt with the Tupuotu Tamasese people who came into our territory in Pouesi, which is Apia. So when they came through there, they were shot by the New Zealand police. Now that was back in 1929. The Tupuotu Tamasese people had came into the Pouesi territory, which is the descendants of Malietoa Talavau descendants, which is traditionally our enemy. So as a Malietoa Talavau descendant, Tupuotu Tamasese is traditionally our enemy. But history has changed, obviously. The very first Prime Minister of Samoa is Mataafa, and the head of state, joint head of state with a diarchical relationship with Mataafa, with Malietoa Tupua, with Malietoa Tonu Mawhili Lelua was Tupua Tamasese as well, until he died 6 months after the establishment of the independent nation of Western Samoa back in 1962. But that's what you have. Now, history is written by those who are the victors. Obviously, my ancestors from the Pouesi had ascended the leadership of Samoa as the whole of the Malo in 1880 until Malietoa Tuiletufuga had passed away. That was the end of the Pouesi reign. The Poutua Malietoa family, which is the descendants of Malietoa Moli, continued the Malietoa title and became the head of state because they were supported by the London Missionary Society or the Congregational Church and John Williams and the Malua people. But that's history. But Malietoa Tuiletufuga was not a Methodist, was not a Congregationalist, but you get that. So that's history. So that's the Poutua people are now the current Malietoa people, and the Pouesi people are still the Tuiletufuga people there in Apia. All right, happy Father's Day. I'm having a quiet one in my house, and that's it. And I'm proud of my sister. She's replaced me with the Australian Bureau of Statistics census. She's doing the job that I would have been her boss as the field manager, but she's doing the job for Australia. She's serving the nation. Manuia, tō whāsoi fo.